Welcome to Talk Dirty to Me. So, Alex, how was your week?
No, we went just fine. I mean, we were going out there picking up stops, doing our job. You know what I mean? Like, not much else to it. Went pretty solid.
I,
In the Magic the Gathering world, they had a new set just pre-release called Magic the Gathering Foundations, which my kids were looking
what?
forward to. So I took them out to that on Friday night. We went and played a
Oh,
tournament.
okay, okay.
Uh,
Some
that.
outside of work stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, can't always just be talking dirty all the time.
Right, right.
So I know. I mean, it was pretty fun. I mean, we were there till because we got there at 5, and then it ended around like 11 o'clock. None of us placed or anything, but you get to keep the cards that you purchased when you're doing the stuff, whatever. But it was a pretty cool event. I mean, I think it's got a lot of things going for this set. Because they're trying to do different things. I know this has nothing to do with our podcast, but there's a little insight into the world of Alex. I'm a pretty big nerd, obviously, so I go out and play
Right.
Magic the Gathering. I started getting into Lorcana, which is a Disney trading card game. So you can just call me a Disney princess, I guess. Um, haven't done any tournaments
Right.
with that yet, but I mean, it's definitely something that gets my kids interested into it. They want to go play it. I take them out to it. It's something to do that's a low physical activity. It doesn't cost me a ton of money all the time. I mean, I spent like what, $60, $70 on Friday night just for me and my kid to go play that, and we didn't really, I mean, like
Yeah.
that's all we had to do. So, and it was fun. I
That's pretty
mean,
cool. That's really interesting, man. Like, stuff outside of work is really cool, man.
right,
Because it's
I
never really talked about.
right. Well, no, I especially like the video you posted about when you and your daughters were at the cemetery about that.
Right. That was
that was
hilarious,
that
man.
was hilarious. But I mean, like, there's more to life than just work, and you gotta keep thinking about everything outside of work. Because that's your main focus is obviously we're spending more time at work than we're at home. You know, and that's just the reality
Right.
of life. Is
Definitely.
you're whether you're a business owner or you're working for somebody else. You're going to be spending the majority of your time on this planet. You know, working, whether it be something you're passionate about or not. That's where you got to align things. Where if you're doing something that you're working, you want it to be something that you're going to be passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, it's just a job. It's just a means to an end. You're not going to get any enjoyment out of it. And
Oh, yeah, definitely.
it definitely impacts your
Definitely.
your mental focus on a lot of things, and makes you reevaluate a lot of things, especially like with you being a single dad. It's hugely impactful to your relationship with your daughters. It's
Yeah,
also impactful
definitely.
with me and my kids. And
Yeah.
you gotta.
And
Yeah.
it's so funny because everybody says keep it separate, like keep work and home separate.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to do. They always bleed into each other. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you could be at work, and especially at work, like definitely at work, because you'll be at work and all you do is drive and you're alone. So what do
Right.
you got to do the whole time you're driving? Is to sit there and
Think,
think.
think,
You know,
think,
this is
think.
what's going on. This is what's going on. You
Right.
know, all day long, and your home life will come up in your
Oh,
thoughts.
absolutely, man. Like
So
there's no way to
you
avoid it.
definitely, right, definitely.
There's
So
just no way to avoid mixing the two inevitably, because as trashmen, we are just driving around for 10, 12 hours a day, picking up stops.
right,
Yeah, we can listen to audiobooks, we can listen to other podcasts, we can listen to music, but at the end of it all, we're not like really talking to anybody. We're not socializing with anybody. We're just in our own heads constantly
yep,
thinking about everything, like, if you're like me, you always beat yourself up over things, like, oh shit, or I forgot to do this, whatever. I got to really, freaking buckle up, focus up, and get back on the grind. I got to figure out how to pay this bill, how to pay that bill. It gets to be a little overwhelming sometimes, especially without much support with that kind of stuff, and you're always constantly
exactly,
thinking you're falling short. So the times you can go out and take your kid out to do something, an activity, just go do it.
yeah.
Like,
Just go
because
do it.
I mean, kids are going to get older, and what are we going to be left with? You know,
Nothing.
right? Because they're
Exactly.
going to be
Yeah.
moving out, and then
No memories.
all we're going to have is the memories of each other. Because once they're out, they're
Hmm.
out. You know, what I mean, sometimes they'll come back and they'll have to move back in with you and stuff. But once they get started on their own life, you know, you just dedicated all your time doing that. Now you're basically got an empty nest, and now you got to reevaluate everything. And
Exactly.
then you're like, well, shoot, like why did I just work 60 hours of my life away every week, and then now they're
Yeah.
gone. Now what am I doing?
Now you got nothing. Yeah.
Right. But
Exactly.
I
And take
think,
as many photos as you can.
oh yeah,
Take as many photos and
make as
videos
much
as you
memories as you
can.
can, photos, videos, and
Right.
people, and some people, like seeing the other side of life when it comes to the things. I mean, I know that like, not a lot of podcasters do it, but just seeing a little bit of the home life, I mean, you don't want to see my home; it's a mess, but you know,
It is what
but
it is, right?
right. I mean,
Yeah.
you work and grind
It's
all week
life.
long. It's just things pile up, man.
Yeah. Definitely does. Now, in one of our safety meetings, they showed that video of that truck being rear-ended.
And
You remember that?
that would be like a life changer right there, in my opinion. I mean, that guy was
Right.
literally a foot away from getting hit from a guy flying in the back of a rear load and then going 30 miles an hour, slamming right in
Not
the
paying
back of it. I
attention.
mean, literally almost. If that
Dude,
car was 2 feet over more, he would have been hit, and that would have been the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
it makes
'Cause-
you think.
right, man.
It makes you think. Like,
life's
dude,
too
because we
short.
do this every day.
Right,
Hell yeah,
life's just
this
too
is something
short,
we do
man.
every day. Right.
Right. I mean,
It's crazy.
and I mean, of
We've
course, a couple
seen
of the
that, and
guys.
it's like, yeah.
And then a couple of guys like, oh,
We
he
see
wasn't
that, and it
even
was like,
phased. And I'm like, well, he's probably in
yeah,
shock. I know I'd be in shock. I'd be like,
right.
and then just walk back, and then like, oh my god, like did that just happen? Like, I mean,
Oh,
crap.
definitely.
When I got rear-ended, I mean, luckily, for us ASL drivers, automated side loads, we're in the cab. So if anyone rear ends us, there's 31 yards of truck between us and them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we
But
have a
you
little
still got
bit.
to worry about crossing the road,
Right,
like when you're doing the
absolutely.
pull across and stuff.
I mean, that's why I do have a couple of stops where I gotta pull the truck over, walk across the street, grab it, and then bring it over because it's just not optimal to try to go down to the end, turn around, come back just for one or two cans when you're doing an entire street like that. So sometimes you do it, but
Right.
you always gotta maintain that focus. Safety, you gotta look both ways and look again. I mean, because people could just be a bunch of idiots and then fly right around you. Like it doesn't matter,
Exactly.
and that could be the moment it's gone, it's done, and you gotta think,
Yeah.
if I go, what happens to everybody else in my family? You know,
Mm-hmm.
not not
People, like the biggest takeaway from this is when you're out there driving and you see our trucks, treat us like we're like side or construction workers.
right. Well,
Like, dude, we're like the same thing. We
right,
all got families to get home to.
right.
You
But
know,
you know how
all
people
of
do that in
us.
construction zones all the time. They're still speeding all the time too. If
Yeah.
they're on
Watch what's
if
going
they're
on.
on the highway, they're flying through those work zones like crazy. They see a plow truck. Their first
Mm-hmm.
instinct is to get around that dang thing as fast as possible. Then they freaking you know they get freaking hit or they lose traction or they go in the ditch and they're like, oh well, why is that's the snowplow's fault? No, I mean, come on, just
Mm-hmm.
take your time. I mean, we talk a lot about driving safety, and a lot of stuff like that here a lot of times. But if you go over to Europe, it's a total different ball game. I mean, from all the experiences that I've had as a younger kid living in Europe, in Italy, and seeing the difference in how people treat each other over there, like over here, pedestrians have the right of way most times, right? And cars are expected to slam on their brakes and stop. Over there, that's not the case. Cars have the right of way. Vehicles have the right of way. You only
Right.
cross the road when it's absolutely clear that you can cross the road without being a hindrance to traffic. And I mean, think about some of the people in Germany on the autobahn. Why don't they have a bunch of accidents every week on the autobahn? Because people
Mm-hmm.
are more focused and careful while driving over there because the requirements to get a license in Germany versus America are staggering. The differences are staggering. They got to know how to do tire changes. They got to know how to do this. They got to go through written exams. They got to go through a couple different driver's tests, not just one driver's test, but a couple different ones to pass their licensing over there. But that's from what I've been told. Have I gone over there and tried it myself? No, obviously I'm not. I don't have enough money to go over to Germany and try to get a a license over there.
That's not because you're a trash man, is it?
What? Because I can't afford to go over there. You mean?
You can't afford to go over there.
Well, I mean, who could afford to travel? I mean, yeah, we make great money, but we're just doing it to support our family. It's hard because a lot of times if you're a single household income basis, you're making enough to pay the rent, keep the lights on, keep the kids fed and clothed and everything else. You have a little bit of money you can squirrel away here and there to do things, but then you got maintenance on your car. You got to freaking have other things happening, and then your kids want stuff. It's not just the needs and necessities you need to provide. It's also the wants. Like if my kid wants to get an Xbox, Series X, you gotta start saving up for that crap and then buy it. And that sounds like a crappy thing to say, but you gotta scrounge and scrape to sometimes get by on stuff. And we make decent enough money. You would think that if we rewind ourselves, if we were making what we're making now, 5-10 years ago, we would be a whole lot better off in the economy. The economy is gotta go back on the upturn. Like it has to recover. We need to basically have lower inflation rates. We need to get things taken down for prices. People always say, "Oh, just increase the wages, increase the wages." The more times you print money in a recession-like economy, the less value your dollar has. You're gonna be making more and spending more at the same time. It's not like just print more money, give people a bunch more raises, and things are going to get better. No, it's going to be, you give them more money, they can spend more money. So now the hikes up again, So, like the price hikes up again, So it's like it doesn't solve anything. What you need to do is you need to figure out a way of lowering costs while maintaining a decent wage. And that's the problem that I think a lot of people don't understand. Like they want to blame whichever president, whichever government appointee, whichever congressman, senator, or whatever, but it's not just in one person's hand that controls the economy. It's a number of factors that as common people, like trash men, office workers, whatever you do for a living, don't really know all the ins and outs of that stuff. Come on. There's a reason why people get paid a lot of money to do taxes every year, right? Because the tax code is so egregious that you have to literally have a degree in this stuff in order to get cut through all the red tape. I mean, that's why people use apps these days, like TurboTax and other stuff like that to just do their taxes, because I have no idea how to file this out by myself. You know what I mean? Like, so if we're having a hard time in navigating just our tax code, how are we going to understand all the economics in play for our country? So and so just raised the fuel prices, or the oil prices just raised. Now it's going to screw the entire economy. It's not just one factor; it's a lot of factors. But getting back to the point, moreover, no, I can't afford to go to Germany, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Now, how about you? I mean, like, how do you feel about everything that's been going on lately? I mean, I'm not touching on politics. We're not a political podcast. We don't need to talk about the race and what's going on with that. But I just mean, how do you feel things have impacted you, recently?
I mean, the cost is still high. Barely get by with, because I'm a single father, so sometimes it's hard to get by. You got to just grind, man. You gotta be out there grinding. Like, there's really not much you can really say about it, especially being a single parent. It makes it really hard, All these bills pile up. Yeah, the economy definitely affects you, though. Like, you go to the store and buy a gallon of milk for $6 when it used to be $3.
Right.
Definitely plays a role.
Where the hell you buying your milk at? Are you going to Whole Foods?
I know it's not that much.
right.
I know it's not that much, but
what, are you going to Whole Foods?
It's the point, Yeah, I'm buying.
No, I'm shopping at Wegmans for all
my.
my produce. Well, there's your first problem.
Bro, they get the milk from special cows, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have the strong cows, good milk, yeah.
Yeah.
Sean's importing milk from Germany right now for some reason.
Yeah, I'm getting the good milk, man. They give they give my cows what you call it milk. Um,
So,
uh,
but no, I
don't
mean,
even
but
touch
you're
it.
right though.
Don't
Like,
even touch
I
it.
mean, just was it 2 years ago, I had to borrow out of my own 401k to pay off a car that I couldn't fix, to put down a down payment
Right.
on a truck I just got, and now it's been 2 years later, and now I got a lot of car. Like it's bad up here in New York. We get a lot of rust, so now I got to do a frame repair
Mm-hmm.
job on my truck. That's going to cost me 2 grand to just do that. And where am I come up with
It's
that money
nuts, bro.
from? You know what I'm saying? Like I got to figure
Yeah.
out where to who which bill am I robbing? This pushing back to just start scrounging up for that. Not to mention I got a couple other things I need to get done with the vehicle, and it's like
Right.
it's just before Christmas. My inspection's due in January. Like, what in the heck am I doing right now? Like, why did I not prepare for this? And you're like, well, you thought about preparing for it, but you got to keep your bills up. I mean, I got everything caught up. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
paid, but like you pay everything, and then you go buy groceries, you go buy clothes, whatever, and you're like, I'm left with like $25 for the whole week, and like a lot of Americans are at that point where they're either in the negative, have to use credit cards to pay off things, or they're just breaking even every
Right.
week. They can't save a dime. And how's that gonna
Exactly.
work if something as bad as a stock market crash happens? Like there's a lot of things in there that will prevent that from happening. But what if? What if you lose your job
Well,
tomorrow? You can't work. How are you paying your bills?
right.
Because you have no savings. You
Like
can't
you
save.
said, we don't really talk about politics here, like at all.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's a politic-free podcast. But how do you feel about Trump actually becoming president? Like,
Well,
do you feel that it's going to make a
if we're a
difference?
politic-free podcast, I'm going to give you the non-committal answer of he's a president. But
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to change? I know we're not.
So
I know we're not
right,
we're
right, right.
politic-free,
I don't
but
want to like
do you feel
right. I mean, so I'm not going to tell you my political views on everything. I'm just going to tell you the facts. Is the president has a lot of power for change. He can put forth bills.
mhm,
He can veto bills. And he can be a good force for change. Now, people's fear
right?
is that with this Project 2025 stuff that was going around and everything else going around, that there's going to be a fear that it's going to be a Republican-only party thing going forward from now on. Because now that he won, that's what's going to happen. Is basically only Republicans are going to be able to pass bills now and all this other stuff. Now there is a lot of Republicans, in the majority party for Congress and right now and stuff like that. So, but I mean, the other day, Trump was a businessman. Yes, he's had a lot of business
Mhm.
go up and down, but the guy's always been flush, you know. So I
Right,
think if he
right.
treats our economy like a business, I think we will actually recover and go forward. The only thing that stopped him from really going too far in the past was COVID hit.
Before.
You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
like I think that if he was allowed to finish out his presidency without that pandemic, that there would have been a economic turnabout and things would have started
Right.
making more sense. I mean, a lot of his policies and promises that he's trying to put forward, I believe will make a difference. You know, as long as it's handled delicately. I mean, it's hard to say what's going to happen though because we could say that oh yeah he's going to increase tariffs on foreign products. He's going to put lower taxes on overtime, which how is IRS going to recuperate that if they don't tax the overtime hours anymore? Now are they going to pass a law saying that there is no overtime? It's just all straight time like they do down south. Like in
Right.
Tennessee, they don't actually do any overtime. Isn't time and a half. It's just straight time. So does that mean
Mhm.
now that if they're not going to tax us on it, are we now only going to be being paid straight time? We don't know that stuff. We don't know what's going to happen at the
Oh, that
local
would suck.
level. Right. That would absolutely kill me. I mean,
Mhm.
I live on overtime. You know, I mean that 10, 15
Yes.
hours a week extra overtime every week is what pays my bills. Without that,
Mhm.
I mean,
It definitely does.
even with my taxes, I'm gonna be screwed. You know, but you don't know because no one could say for certain
Right.
what's going to happen at the local level because federal will put out something, tax breaks on certain things, but the states also have a contribution to that fact. Where, like I said, Tennessee, their state law because it's not federally mandated that everybody get paid time and a half for overtime. The states decide what they get paid.
Right. Right.
So what if New York goes that route?
That's
Oh,
crazy.
you want to cut taxes on overtime? All right, fine. Now everybody's just getting straight pay. You know, no normal pay, no time and a
So I
half.
take it, Alex, you're from New York?
Well, yeah. Well, Mr. Buffalo Bills person over there, mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
That
can't
don't.
assume we're
I
from
could.
New
I
York.
could
You
live
know,
in. I can live in. I can live in like. You
Wisconsin,
know,
and be a
the
Buffalo
mountains
Bills fan,
of.
right?
Yeah.
I
You
can live
know.
in.
Yeah. What?
in
Just because I wear bills don't mean I.
Yeah, well, no, but I think we've already established that we're both from New York, you know, and you know, honestly,
Right.
out of all the states I've lived in, I mean, I've only lived in states as a child, so I haven't really lived there as an adult to see the different impacts. But you know, people down south, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, you know, a lot of the areas that don't have a lot of state taxes say it's a lot better to live down there. But then you get the flip side of okay,
Right.
but I'm only getting paid straight time for any overtime I put in, and it's okay.
Exactly.
There's a give and take in every state you go to. So I'm not gonna say that you know New York's the best state, but I haven't really tried my hand out in other states to see if it's any different.
In another state. Right.
So,
Yeah.
but from where
Right
I
now.
stand, where I stand, I'm I'm hopeful for the future. But you know,
Right.
at my level, if things go down, how am I supposed to change it? We do our due diligence. We vote on projects. We vote on petitions. We vote for our candidates, and after that, it's out of our hands. You know, after everything's said and done, once
Right.
we vote for our candidates for the Congress, Senate, presidency, it's out of our hands now. Yeah, we can sign petitions
Mm-hmm.
to go to our senators to try to push forward something like you know if you get enough people on a commission, sign a petition, send it up the chain, something might happen. But at the end of the day, I still think the biggest problem. Well, now you got me talking politics, which is a bad thing. But anyways,
I got you right on politics. That's what you
right.
get.
Well, I mean,
It's a
I
politics
try to
podcast
be
now.
I try to be impartial on all things. But you do see a lot of
Right.
things from both sides that you're like, okay, we're on two extreme ends of each other. We need to somewhere meet in the middle to compromise on things. You know, I mean, everything is about compromise in life. You know, you don't always agree with your spouse. You got to compromise, figure out a solution. Collaboration is key to existence on this planet. You know, and if we want
Right.
to keep going forward with two differing ideals, and we need to get back to a point where if we have a disagreement, it is not the end of the world. You can have a healthy disagreement on two subjects. You know, whether you're a flat earther,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're, you know, a normal person, you know, that believes the world's round, or you believe in the ice wall.
Right.
It's okay to have differing beliefs, religions, as long as you guys don't make it physically violent or get on social
Mm-hmm.
media and blast everybody saying, you know, cancel these guys, cancel that person because of their views. Everyone's allowed their First
Right.
Amendment right. We're allowed free speech as
Mm-hmm.
long as it doesn't cause inciteful to riot. You know, as long as you follow the constitutional rights you are given, I think that everyone, you know, just needs to live and let live in this country, and we need
Right.
both sides and both extremes. I'm not saying if you're a Republican, you're automatically this. If you're a Democrat, you're automatically a transgender person that believes in this at all. No, I'm
Whoa.
saying is you guys got to figure out a way of the two party system becoming more streamlined. Like they need to be more
Mm-hmm.
level headed, you know, and that's why in our country a third party liberal or independent or whatever you want to call them will never probably see presidency because they don't feed in the two party system, you know, and there's no support
Right.
for them to get further along. And people could say, you know, oh, it's corporations own America and stuff like that. They do a lot of contributions to campaigns, so that's a little suspect. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, again, we're not in politics. We're not politicians. I'm not a governor. You're not a senator. I'm not a congressman. You're not a Supreme Court
Wait a minute.
justice. You know,
I'm not.
no.
What do I do? What do I do then? What do I
Well,
do? What's my job?
You're a trash truck driver. You know, you pick up
Oh
trash.
my God, bro! Bro,
But I mean, so
I
if
thought I was a
if
freaking
you think
president.
about politics, politics exists everywhere, and not just in
Right.
our own government. Think of corporate politics. Think of how it's almost like a similar thing, where from your managers to your office staff to your driving staff to whatever to your dispatchers, there's always a little bit of a political side to things. And if you want to think about it that way, it's kind of weird. But
Mm-hmm.
how much smoother does things run if everyone's on the same page? If from the top down
Right.
you have one clear
Definitely.
vision, one clear sight picture, how much smoother do things run like on a company level? Like when we're all
Right.
like on the same page, things get done. That's what needs to happen with our
Mm-hmm.
federal government. That's what needs to happen with all our government. They need to get on the same page.
Alex for
Everyone needs
president.
to get on the same page. We all need to start working
Am I
together,
supposed to
not
be?
against each other.
Am I supposed to be voting for you this year or next year?
Uh, yeah, it's 2028. Alex Burp for president.
I'll make
but
them. I
but
make
no,
the
I'm just saying though,
I'll
like
make America trashy again.
make America trashy again. Well, I'm gonna get trashy but classy Nick back with me. He's gonna be my campaign
Yeah.
manager. You're gonna be my vice president. Running mate.
Wait a minute.
But no, I'm
Is this
just
like
saying.
back in the
If
day where
we're
like if
talking
you
politics,
kill?
people are upset about everything going on right now, and I see doomsday sayers. Oh, next year you guys release the devil. Come on, guys. It's one guy. He doesn't have supreme power. It's not a dictatorship. It's
Right.
not like we're electing Putin again this year. Like there's no one running against Putin. And he's
Oh.
been president for what 10, 20, 10, 15 years now. So it's not like we're in the country like that. We do
Mm-hmm.
have checks and balances. So supreme power, the president does not have. Does he have quite a considerable amount of power to
Right.
do stuff? Yes, but also like remember this: the president cannot declare war. He has to get that passed through the Congress.
Okay.
Congress declares war, not the president.
Right.
The president can authorize
Right.
operations and military operations, but he can't declare full-on war state with the country. And that's what's got to be understood about
I
things.
don't know
Most
anything,
people,
so
I think, if people are more informed, the problem is between mainstream media and social platforms, no one has a clear vision of what the truth is because it gets obfuscated so much.
mm-hmm.
From one broadcast to another broadcast, you're not sure who's telling the truth. You can't find the facts. Like there's no,
Right.
and they want you to live in that state of confusion so they can control you better,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. And you just got to do your due diligence. You got to do your own research, and you have to go through it all and figure it out for yourself what you think is going on because you're never going to find out, a one-for-one ratio of truth at all. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's going to have differing opinions on the matter. And unless you're
Mm-hmm.
part of a
Right.
government oversight committee that can have discrepancy powers to investigate independently and investigate everything you want to investigate impartially, you're never going to know the truth. Like all we're getting fed is
Right.
information from the top down to us. Whether you go on, the Jon Stewart, you watch Jon Stewart, you watch Joe Rogan, you watch CNN, Fox News, or whatever your platform you watch on, you're getting what information they're giving you. And
Oh, you mean podcast you watch?
yeah, podcasts, news channels,
You
whatever.
said whatever. Well, you said whatever platform.
Yeah, I'm saying is because you think about it, your platform could be Facebook. You're scrolling through Facebook, and all you're seeing is all this, one-sided thing. And we all know about the algorithm. The more you talk around your phone about something, next thing you know, you're scrolling through Facebook, and it's right there. Like, oh, apparently, we're talking about hymns now. All of a sudden, what the heck? We're only joking about ED before, Next thing you know, it's popping up all over my feed. I'm like, no, I don't need Viagra. No, I don't need hymns. Get the hell out of here. Like I was making a joke to one of my buddies, and I'm like, why am I having to scroll now?
Why would you even be talking about needing?
No, it was a joke, bro. Like I was hanging out with
And
some
they're
buds.
chewables, they're
We were just
chewables.
right. We were just talking about
Well, hang on. Wait a minute. You were hanging
performance
out
issues.
You were hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
You were hanging out with friends, and you guys just happened to be talking about, bro.
Right. Performance
I got a
issues in bed. You know
problem.
what I'm saying? Like
I can't get up.
that's not what I said. No, I'm saying because guys talk about a lot of different things.
Let me
right?
let everybody in here know I don't hang out with Alex outside of work. I'm not involved in that.
Right. We're great work friends. We got a
Yeah, that's
nice
about it.
but we don't know each other's barbecues or anything. But
Oh man, I just got to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like me
oh,
and Alex
you
is
gotta
not
distance
talking
yourself from
about.
Alex now. Hold on.
Yeah, like you're talking about performance drugs and stuff, and bro, I don't hang out with you.
At least I'm not talking about performance enhancers, for athletic sports or anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could have been like, dude, I drink Red Bull or something. No, ED. Oh
Well, no,
no,
you know what I'm talking about.
what just
You
happened?
get talking to some guys and you're just talking about random crap that just comes up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
That I've never had that issue with that.
I've never had that issue either. I'm just saying that it's funny because like you think about it, it's like, all right, if I did take one of these things,
Whoa.
how much longer would I be going? You know what I'm saying? Like, and would it be a bad thing?
What just happened? What did this? Bro, they don't sponsor us.
No, we're not. We don't have any sponsors currently. I know we are.
Oh
We do have a
man.
partnership with somebody right now, but we still gotta put out some ads for those guys, and because we're still waiting on some products from them. About hopefully in the near future we'll have some of that stuff put together. Which reminds me, after we get done with this,
Right.
I gotta order some. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Oh,
I
we
mean,
can mention it though. Like we can mention it because
right,
yeah, because we're already an affiliate. So
right.
if you
What
ever
you
want to
know,
mention
if
it,
we just gotta put that link on our pages so
they're
that way
called Blue
people can.
Chews. No, I'm playing.
Well, now we might have them pop up on our feed. Hey, be a sponsor of Hims. But, oh, you need Viagra? Here, be a
Oh
sponsor.
man. You want some Blue Chews?
Blue Chews, yeah, that's a new big one.
Oh
But
man.
like
What
freaking,
just happened? Dude.
but you guys talk about politics, and it went from that to freaking,
Politics, bro. I don't even know how it went from politics to like ED issues, bro. Like this is the craziest thing ever.
well, I mean, I have an ADHD brain, so like I bounce from one
Yeah,
topic to another topic, and I just weave them all
right.
together at the
But
end.
how
It
did
all makes
like
sense. It
how?
all makes sense in the end. All right.
I don't know how you're fitting this into anything, dude. Like,
What? No, literally, I was talking about the algorithm because it goes back to
right?
what we see on a daily basis is fed to us through
Okay,
whatever platform we're watching on things, whether it be the platform is your TV, you're watching CNN, whether it's your phone
okay,
where you're scrolling through Facebook, TikTok, whatever,
right,
your your sensory input of media is impacted by the algorithm. And people will say, "Oh, the algorithm
right.
doesn't exist." No, it does. That's where the ED thing came in because like I said, I mentioned it
Yeah.
outside, not even on Facebook. My phone was nearby me. It heard me. It's a little spy device like Alexa, and next thing you know, it's all on my feed. But I start talking about
Right,
Trump now. Watch me have nothing but Trump stuff on my stuff on my feed now. I start talking
right,
about
right.
transgender things. You watch that pop up on my feed now. You know what I'm saying? It's
Dude,
we're
now I'm
being
gonna look at my phone
right, and it's going to be
and have
everything.
ED stuff on it.
Right,
Like
absolutely.
what? because you were talking about ED.
Right,
Now my phone's gonna think I got ED.
right,
Now,
right. And now it's going to tell you, here's some hymns. Buy some hymns. But
or
that's what I'm
Blue
saying. I was
Chew.
like, we're almost like cultivated and fed the information that something else is giving to us. We're not able to discern
Right.
the true facts of everything without doing more research independently on our own without using these platforms, to investigate further. That's all I'm saying is, you got to find factual sites, factual information, decide on your own what's true, not just agree with whatever you're seeing all the time. So, as far as
Right.
will Trump turn around the country? I hope for the best. Expect the worst in every outcome. Like you hope that things will turn around, but you never know what's going to happen until it happens. So,
Right.
I'm optimistic, but if things don't go the way they're supposed to, I mean, because you never know if things are going to go get stonewalled now. Like all of a sudden, like the Democrats won't
Hmm.
agree with stuff, and they'll try to stonewall them and filibuster, and hold up a filibuster or close the government down because they can't agree on spending limits. which has happened a
Right.
lot in the past before, where they can't agree how to deal with the deficit, and they close on the government for a few months, and no one got paid.
Yeah.
Like it all depends on what. That's where you just need more collaboration. You need more understanding. We need to get back to a society where we're all more supportive of each other. You know, we are a pseudo-Christian offshoot when we first got started with the Pilgrims. And I'm not saying that
Mm-hmm.
Christian values are only good values, because I'm a Norse pagan, so I'm not advocating for Christianity or any religion over one another. But you we gotta get back to a point where if you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, we can all still coexist. And I'm not trying to sound
Right.
all hippie by saying that, but what I'm saying is it's okay to have differing views, as long as we still, at the end of the day, we're all Americans. We're all Americans. I don't care if you're
Mm-hmm.
white, Hispanic, African American, if you're Asian American. I don't care any of that stuff. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're lesbian. I don't care if you're LGBTQ. We're all here on this earth for a limited time. Why make it more
Right.
difficult on ourselves and everyone else around us for having differing views? Why
That's
are
true.
it's okay to joke around, and that's where you got was it Matt Rife, whatever his name is. I don't know.
I
What's
don't
the
know.
one comedian's name that keeps getting blasted for cancellation because he's making transgender jokes, he's making cripple jokes and stuff. It's Matt Rife, isn't it, or no? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Well,
I
but
really
anyways,
don't
like
know.
so he's always on blast for making these like outrageous jokes, but he's just doing it for comedy. Is he being serious about
Right.
it? Probably not, but it's for a comedy show, and people pay to go see him
Right.
to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they go pay to be part of his jokes. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
more like that. Let's more like let's have humor back in our country. Let's have differing ideals, but
Right.
not to the point where we're cancel culturing each other, or trying to assassinate people, or trying to be outrageous about it. Like let's be more level-headed. Let's get back to a commoner ground, and we're Americans first, and nothing else matters. And that's how our country should be. Like I said,
Right.
I'm a live and let live person. You want to do what you want to do. That's all on you. But don't I've come across a few transgenders, and I try to be as polite as I can. If you dress a certain way, I was brought up in a military family, so yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know,
Right.
if I see a person that looks like a woman, I'm gonna say no ma'am, yes ma'am, or hello ma'am. And now all of a sudden I'm assuming a gender. I don't know anything about you. You're not. There's no name tag saying I'm a he, him, they pronoun, whatever. So I'm only going off of the
Right.
information I see in front of me. And obviously, if I have just like if I say how's it going today, ma'am? And they're like, oh, I'm actually a he, them. I'll fix my pronouns immediately, and I'll refer to them respectfully, apologize. Hey, I didn't know, sorry. But then going forward, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what you need is more common sense to just be able to move past that point. It wasn't like we didn't argue. We moved right on past it, and didn't continue on our conversation, you know. And there was no anger on either side of us. I made a mistake. I corrected myself. I
Right.
apologized. We moved on. Like that's all we need to do. But some people you get,
Mm-hmm.
especially on social media, where they're seeking that confrontation and getting sensationalized for it, you know, on TikTok, on Facebook, on whatever streaming platform they're on, and they're using that as a soapbox to just basically get views and make money off of it. That's wrong, in my opinion.
Right.
You know,
Right. It definitely is. It definitely is. So, you're so you got pretty big politic beliefs,
oh,
just
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
not for here. Yeah. Right.
right. I have what I like to consider is a educated mind. I'm not educated by scholarship means. I didn't go to college. I
Mm-hmm.
went to college for one semester, and I ended up dropping out because I had to continue to go back to the grind in order to make a living. So, you know,
Right.
I like to think that I'm an educated mind by just being more open to possibilities and doing more personal research than more academic, taught to me by a school or whatever. So would I mind
Right.
being a scholarly type and more of an academic type? No, I mean it'd be awesome for me to go back to school and become a historian, because that's one of my interests is military
Yeah.
history in general, and and for anything we do in the future, if you don't know your history, you're going to end up repeating it. And this is what I'm saying is we had peace movements, we had peace walks, we had
Hmm.
equality walks in the 60s, 70s. We had the whole thing with Vietnam. You know, to the point now we're like almost going backwards on ourselves. We're trying to crush individual freedoms. We're trying to segregate more people again. We're trying
Right.
to espouse one belief over the other belief, and it's like, why are we regressing as a society instead of moving forward more?
Hmm.
Like
Right.
Martin Luther King Jr. Did not die for everybody to go back to segregating people again. You know what I'm saying? Come on, like we need to keep maintaining our focus. Is like we've had a lot of upturn in this country for the better, but this whole cancer culture belief just needs to stop, in my opinion. Like we need to stop with the hate. You know,
Hmm.
and
That's
that's at the end of the day. I think that's the only message I want to put out there. Just gotta stop with the hate. You know what I'm saying?
right. Right. Definitely. That's something, and it's everywhere too.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy. It's
And,
everywhere,
and
worldwide.
right. I mean, and don't get me
Like
wrong.
it's
Everyone's going to have a
worldwide.
prejudice. No one's 100% prejudice free. People
Hmm.
are going to automatically see something and they're going to stereotype their own thoughts on like, oh, okay, I saw this person. Okay, this is how you think they might be, but you don't know. You got to be more open to the possibility. So you
Right.
got to step back out of yourself and be like, okay, why am I thinking this way? You know, that's not the correct way to be thinking all the time. So, you know, I mean,
It's true.
we just got because no matter what you say, someone's got a prejudice about something somewhere. What, but
Oh,
not,
yeah.
but as long as you can evaluate yourself and stop yourself from acting on a stereotype, then you will be able to more cohabitate with your fellow man and not build a assumption from first meeting somebody. You know,
Right. Exactly.
so
So, do you want to go back to the trash business, or like you
oh
want to
yeah, sure.
stay?
That's interesting. Let's go back to talking
We're
dirty
talking.
about trash. Yes, yeah, please.
Okay. Let's.
Hey, you opened that can of worms, bud. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow, it just dove right into it. Got
well,
diarrhea
I
in the
mean,
mouth and everything about
I'm a very
it.
passionate person about my beliefs. You know, what I mean, like,
Right.
I'm not I'm not afraid to share my thoughts on things.
Yeah,
So,
and the only thing I thought was, hey, let's let them talk because I mean, we all have thoughts,
right,
we all have beliefs, and we all think a certain way.
right,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
I'm
And we
not
can
saying
talk
one's
about
more
it.
superior than the other. Let's all just get
Right.
along and move along.
Exactly. Yeah. So, last week in work, anything interesting happened on route?
No, I didn't have any breakdowns at all. I mean, everything went smoothly. I
I
think
had a breakdown
yeah, I saw you had a breakdown on Friday of all days,
twice,
man.
2 days in a
Oh
row, two
man,
days in a
it was
row.
great, right? Maybe at least you got some
Oh
hours at
no,
least. At
man.
least you got hours.
Yeah, I freaking the Packer blade stopped working on me 2 days right in a row. And then we get it to we went to dump it off. We got it to the landfill, and doesn't isn't there a whole bunch of stuff jammed underneath their damn the blade, like wood and metal and all that stuff is just jammed under the blade and stuff, you know. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what the heck is going on, man? Just tears your day up, you know, because you're like, I had like 11 stops left, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to be done real soon. Nice early Friday. No, I didn't get out of here. I didn't get out of work until like 2.
Right.
So, yeah, it happens. I mean, breakdowns suck. That's like
Oh,
the
they never
worst
do.
part of your day. But yeah, that was my week. Pretty smooth week. Other than that,
Right.
a lot of dumb drivers.
Oh,
Get a lot of
well,
those all day. But
you can't deal with them, man. Like best you
you
could do
can't
is
get
just
away
look.
from them.
Right. You just gotta do your best to look out for them and plan accordingly. You know, like you gotta
Mhm.
watch more of people, your surroundings around you, people around you, than you do what you're doing most of the time yourself. Because you'll be driving in a straight line, and you got people zooming in and out of traffic in front of you, or you got some
Right.
pedestrian trying to run across the street all of a sudden. Like you gotta be like you gotta have like freaking 10 eyeballs to keep track of everything. You know, and
Right.
it's difficult. It's difficult,
I had
definitely.
uh I had somebody pull right out in front of me one of the days last week. I don't remember what day it was. Pulled right out in front of me, and I did everything I could to stop that truck again. It's like, dude, what are you guys thinking, man? You guys understand
Right.
if we slam into you, you're gonna die. Like you're not gonna live. You
Right.
know, think
Right.
about how much we weigh to your 3,000 pound car. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Like think about how much we weigh. We're in tons. Like we're weighed by tons. We're not weighed by pounds. You
Right.
know, so we're carrying like 70,000, at least 70,000 pounds. We're carrying. We hit your car, man. Your car is
Right.
just gonna become toast, and you're gonna be toast in your car. You know, that's the sad reality of it. Like, you're definitely gonna die if we hit you.
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, did you need any help over the week, like this week? Did you need any help?
No, no, I
Anybody had to
didn't
come to
think I
your
needed
route
any
and
help, huh?
anybody
What was
had to
that?
come to your route and give you a hand?
No one had to come to my room. I actually helped out somebody else this week. Thank
Uh,
you very goddamn much.
wow,
You
wow.
know,
About time.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Sorry, Sean. I didn't need your
it's
help
about
again.
time, dude.
You know,
Like,
about,
I know. I gotta.
about time.
You want me to come back to? You want me to come back to residential? So like, you know what I'm saying? So like, when you start
Yeah,
falling behind,
yeah,
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 huh?
yeah. Yeah, because I'm the one that falls behind. How about you break down on routes? You get any help when you broke down?
Bro, you didn't even break down. You just couldn't get the route done. Like, I don't understand what you're even
I
talking
couldn't get
about.
the route done, huh? What? I couldn't
Yeah,
get the
like
freaking route done. You know what I'm
like
saying?
took off your
What was that?
glasses and stuff.
Like now
You
you're hitting on my
know,
pride, bro. Like you don't want. Come on now, man.
oh man, don't tell me you're getting all upset about it, dude. Like, come
A little
on,
bit.
man. You know
I
how it
mean, like,
was. You know, you know how it was, buddy. Like, you had trouble
oh,
getting some of
yeah,
them
I did have
routes
trouble
done.
back
You
in the
know,
day getting my stuff done. Not
yeah,
anymore. Pretty self-sufficient
I
these
know.
days.
You know,
If I break down, I still get my job done. I don't need
right,
some
right.
guy named Sean coming over and making my route look like a tornado all the time.
Hey, dude, if it wasn't for me, the few of them times, bro, you'd have been like months behind.
Months behind. Now you're just exaggerating crap. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just really
A little
exaggerating.
bit.
Like
A
you're
little
taking that
bit.
crap to hyperbole standards. You know what I'm saying? Like like
Months
like
behind.
listen, man.
Oh
Like
man.
you're bad.
Oh
Like you're bad.
man.
Like you're laughing, but like come on, bro. Like let's
Uh,
let's get serious now. You know what I'm saying?
hey, did you? Was that a tear that just came down your face?
No, 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 not a tear that came out of my face. I mean, a tear of laughter, maybe. You know, like you made me laugh so hard that I cried.
Pooped a little bit.
Right.
Wow. Got pretty. I think I hit a nerve.
A little bit, a little bit. You know, I mean,
A
like
little nerve.
I feel like
Oh, that's okay.
I'm pretty self-sufficient. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? I get my jobs done. I come in, do my job, go home, and all my crap's done. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes. Sometimes you'd come in and do your job and go home.
Oh, sometimes.
Other times you'd have to sleep. So other times you'd have to sleep in your truck. The only driver I know that carried a tent.
I might as well just bought a camper and put it in the can yard. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently I couldn't get my routes done.
I mean, like, I didn't say that per se, you know.
No, you didn't say that per se, huh? You just said you just had to say that you were coming over to save me like a white knight every time, right? Like you're
Yeah,
the best driver
like,
here.
I mean, think about this. I would be probably a good hour and a half away, right? And I had to come over to your route and do your route. What do you think of
Can't,
that?
can't help if I break down and I break down. You know, I mean, you can't help that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't help that.
Right,
You
that's
know,
true.
my routes were a little tight back in the day. And if I had any issues,
Mm-hmm.
it would just bleed over from week to week. Hey, my fault that I got days behind because of crap like that happening. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like you
Right,
know,
I get that.
you want to bring up that crap. You know what I'm saying? How about all the times you were
Right.
in our main town, and I had to come over and help you out, with my newer truck,
Well,
and
that
you
was
were over
like
there in the
twice.
decrepit thing. More than twice,
That was
Sean.
like twice.
It was more than
All
twice.
right, 4 times. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And but
I
that's the thing.
remember
Though.
back
We
then.
we all traded.
I remember that. I remember back then. I used to have to come over and give you a hand too.
Because again, I had an
Every
overloaded
Friday.
route, man. Like what the hell? Like, yeah, you had to come over and help me. I helped you. Like, it was back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
The dream team was out there helping each other. It wasn't just you helping
Right.
everybody out. I was
Hang
out there
on.
helping people out too. Like, come on, let's be honest about stuff. Don't see,
Okay.
don't feed misinformation out there. Come on, like it's funny and all, but come on, man. I take pride in what I
Okay.
do,
I'm sorry.
and I'm sure you take
You think
pride in
it's?
yours too.
Hang on. Is it fake information or is it like legit?
Fake news.
Oh man, I almost fell out of my chair.
I mean, if
So
that's how
what?
you if that's how you truly feel about things, you're not joking around, man. Like I could take a break from this right now, and you could be on your own for a little
What
bit. Like you know what I'm saying?
you're
Like
not?
if
Are you getting mad? Like,
I'm
is it
getting
upsetting
a
you a
little
little
heated
bit?
about this, Yeah, because I said I take pride in my work. I mean, I don't like being accused of
Oh.
stuff, and if that's how you feel about it, like if that's how you truly think about it, bro, like we're not friends outside of work apparently, so like whatever. So like I'm just gonna freaking hang up the phone right now and just be done.
Hey, hey, hey! That's because you started talking about ED. So
Yeah.
like, I
Okay.
ain't
So
being
okay. Yeah.
associated.
Yeah. 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 I'm pretty sure that I came on here to be the comedic relief. Not the laughing stock of your podcast.
Oh, nobody filled you in on that.
What? I didn't get no
I
memo
I
from
had to.
from, from you at all. That I'm
I
supposed
gotta
to be the
get. I gotta
laughing
get
stock.
with the staff.
Yeah. What's that? It's yourself and me, bud.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, Alex is getting upset over there. Look at his face turned red.
Yeah.
Alex, your face is glowing, bro.
Well,
That
I mean,
upsets you a little
like,
bit.
yeah. Well, I mean, all jokes aside,
You need help on your route on Monday.
I'm done. I'm done. All right, I'm fucking out. I'm done. Like,
Don't.
seriously, bro. Like, chill out. All right. I'm about to fucking
All
step
right, I'm
back.
sorry.
Oh yeah, I apologize. Thank you.
Like there's a wall behind you if you step back.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'll step away. How about that?
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
That sounds a little
Is,
bit
it,
better.
do we need to take a break for a minute and reevaluate where we're standing?
Oh, what do you want to reevaluate?
Like, how we're going to proceed on this thing? Because, like, if you want to, like, jokes are jokes, bro. But come on, like, I get my job done. You get your job done. Yeah, we helped each other in the past, but let's be honest about it. Like you didn't come over my route every dang day and freaking have to help me out because I was a bad driver. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying a bad driver per se,
All right.
but
You know,
uh, Alex, Alex, he went away. Well, I guess we'll end this here. You guys, be good out there.